Hello everyone, it is Wing Tung Choi and my set ID is set5387760. I'm here with my group members, Yunjia and Yuxing. We're excited to present the decentralized application, Balancer. Here is our table of contents. We'll first focus on the problems that Balancer is trying to solve. The traditional finance relies on third parties. Thus, it suffers opacity, limited user control, and management fees. Moreover, the Uniswap only provides two tokens with 50-50 ratings. While Balancer is a non-custodial decentralized protocol on the Ethereum, it relies on smart contracts and removes centralized intermediaries. Thus, the user retain full control of their assets, and all their transactions are visible on the blockchain. Liquidity providers could create customizable liquidity pool. Moreover, they could earn the swap fees on every trade, and their portfolio would automatically rebalance. We can understand the decentralization of Balancer by the following three main aspects: governance, smart contracts, and liquidity pools. Starting with governance, VBOL is given by locking the specific percentage of tokens with 80% in BOL and 20% in WETH. Users have the right to make decisions by holding VBOL. Next is smart contracts. They are open source and immutable on the Ethereum. They trade automatically without central entities and ensures transparencies. And finally, liquidity pool. Any user could create and manage it without permission. The benefits of Balancer are summarized by the following 4 points. First, customization. Users could manage a maximum of 8 tokens with different rating. Second, dynamic fee. The swap fees could be adjusted based on the trading size and market conditions by using hooks. Third, community governance. Users with VBOL have the right to make decisions. Finally, security. Balancer is audited by some reputable firms frequently. The cost of Balancer is summarized by the following 2 points. First, complexity. The customization pools could be complicated for new users. Second, smart contract risks. Contract could be vulnerable to bugs or hacker attacks. Balancer runs on both Layer 1 and Layer 2. Layer 1 has 2 chains, while Layer 2 has 6 chains. The cross-chain bridge of Balancer is a cross protocol. It could enhance the transfer speed and reduce gas fees. It applies the layers to provide liquidity from the Ethereum to the Layer 2 chain. This process normally takes 1 to 2 minutes. Moreover, it offers lower gas fees by bundling the transactions with thousands of users. Now, I'll pass it on to Yuxing to continue with the next section.
Okay, thanks. My name is Yuxing Wang and the ID is Z5555494. In Balancer, the bulk governance token is an ERC20 token with a maximum total supply of 100 million. At the start of BAL token incentives, 145,000 BAL are maintained each week. In early 2022, Weibo was introduced with a new inflation plan, setting inflation to half every 4 years. Balancer has also disclosed contract address, governance process, among other contents. They also play a role in the Balancer. The first and most intuitive is governance function. And bondholders can vote on proposals related to the agreement. Tokens contribute to fundraising and attracting users, and also act as incentives by giving liquidity providers BAL tokens to liquidity mining. And Weibo also obtains external voting incentives via the bribe market. Balancer is only an M protocol. The project can work without BAL token, but the effectiveness of decentralized governance will decline. And we can see that Balancer shows the amount and the proportion of total token distribution, as well as the purpose and price of each type of holder. It also explains that before publicly participating in the liquidity reward, a certain degree of pre-mining distribution is carried out to achieve full transparency, and the fair distribution is continuously adjusted and improved in the subsequent period. And about the audit, Balancer has been multiple independent audited by several audit firms. Audit reports on execution of smart contracts are also transparently disclosed and constantly added and updated. The audits are mostly conducted from the ecological parameters, pools, and security of each item, but bounties are also set up to encourage improvements. By comparison, we can note that Balancer's development activity on GitHub are active, and development pace is faster than that of progress like SushiSwap and Curve, but is still far behind more mature projects. The content is updated frequently. Repositories have rich information. Among them, Weibo model and performance optimization and other contents are more active, and Balancer projects has more active contributors on GitHub than any other similar project, as well as active participants on community forums and governance platform. Well, next, Yunjia will continue to introduce the Balancers.
Thank you. My name is Yunjia Liu, and my ZID is 5620295. Let's start with Balancer's advantages. One of the key strengths is its flexible asset allocation. It allows users to create multi-asset pools with custom weights and trade multiple asset pairs in a single pool, which improves efficiency of capital utilization and reduces slippage. Secondly, asset rebalancing mechanism can reduce impermanent loss and simplifies the investment process. In addition, two version upgrades have made Balancer's modular architecture increasingly refined. Balancer version 2 reduces gas costs by centralizing asset management in the vault, and version 3 allows customizable liquidity models through the hook architecture. Finally, decentralized governance based on the Weibo mechanism empowers token holders to actively participate in protocol governance. However, like any system, Balancer has its limitations and improvements must be made to overcome them. Firstly, Balancer presents a barrier to entry for beginners. Therefore, optimizing the user interface and providing beginner-friendly guidance will be necessary. Secondly, multiple asset pools may lead to liquidity fragmentation and high slippage in certain transactions. So Balancer can leverage the Weibo incentive mechanism and recommends efficient liquidity pool to guide more funds towards high-quality pools. Additionally, the Weibo mechanism has led to some centralization of power and high gas costs, which is not friendly to retail investors. In order to achieve fairness, Balancer could explore lightweight governance models, such as reputation-based voting. Moreover, fully deploying the Weibo functions on Layer 2 would address the issue of high interaction costs. As a decentralized finance protocol, Balancer still faces multiple potential risks. Firstly, liquidity fragmentation and competition from other AIM protocols could lead to user attrition. Secondly, as a single-point asset custody center, the vault mechanism is vulnerable to attacks, which could lead to significant financial losses. Finally, Balancer has not yet implemented any AML or KYC mechanisms. Regulatory pressure could affect the platform due to the growing global focuses on compliance. Overall, as an evolving protocol, Balancer is expected to secure a stable position in DeFi by enhancing performance and promoting compliance in the future. That's all. This is HD Group presentation. Thanks for your listening.